everyone, and welcome back to another video from the Freedom Boys. Today we're going to be doing our second weekly recap of the news.
So this week was pretty darn packed.
First news of this week, United Nations Security Council, or the UNSC, backed President Trump's peace deal for the Israeli-Palestine conflict.
Yeah, so the plan included recommending international force in the area. So I think like either U.S.
Probably
force,
USA, probably like
so
other
European.
people in NATO.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people are going to be, they're going to think about sending troops over to that area.
Yep.
In other news, President Trump made a push to release the Epstein files.
He encouraged Republicans to vote towards the release of the files, and he also stated that, quote unquote, we have nothing to hide.
Which is a pretty solid statement that he's probably not on the files. If he was on the files, then he'd be like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Which is why people thought he was on the files before, because he was telling people not to. But I don't think he is, because, I mean, first of all, he said it himself. He has nothing to hide. Second of all, like, if you're on the files, you're not going to want to let it out. The Democrats, mainly Representative Robert Garcia, who is the House Oversight, are accusing the president of panicking and attempting to derail the Epstein probe.
The vote has passed in the House and in the Senate as well. So President Trump has signed the bill last night. And
So
the Epstein files will be coming out in the next 30 days or so. There is one thing, some things will be redacted. That's just due to ongoing investigations. So any investigations going on to anybody inside the files, those names will be redacted.
Larry Summers, the former Harvard president, is under fire after emails in the Epstein files show that he was in contact with Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein's 2008 conviction and called Epstein his wingman, which is not a good look for him or for Harvard.
That's not a great look at all.
Especially after 2008, you really don't want your name associated with. No, this was like one of the things why I believe that Trump is probably not in there, because, like, I mean, this guy is under a lot of fire for this.
Yeah, also, Jeffrey Epstein donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to Democratic campaigns, presidential campaigns, other campaigns, and he's only donated $18,000 to any Republican campaign, which I would say is...
It's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot for the Republicans, but it's a lot more for the more Democratic side.
Yeah, so I think I kind of...
So it shows that Epstein was more Democratic than
Which he was.
Which he was. So, again, not a good look for Democrats, as, I mean, a lot of things have been coming out of the news. Again, if you're a Democrat, I'm sorry if we're offending you, but there's not a lot of good looks for you guys right now.
Yeah. So there have been a couple of emails that Democrats
have been talking about a lot.
Yeah, they released Monday, I think, or Sunday, Monday, somewhere around there, about, like, emails from Jeffrey Epstein's estate and regarding Trump and other alleged victims.
And Epstein mentioned to his brother, Jeffrey mentioned to his brother, that Putin had some pictures of Trump doing unspeakable acts to Bubba.
Yeah, and those...
Didn't specify who Bubba was, but people assumed that Bubba was Bill Clinton.
Yeah, because Bill Clinton's, one of his known nicknames was Bubba, it's like a very southern nickname. And also, but this has been proven to be untrue, since Jeffrey Epstein's own brother, Mark Epstein, came out and said Bubba is not Bill Clinton. And I'm pretty sure he said they were like joking around or something like that.
They were joking. It's kind of like joking around with your friends. That's basically what was going on. And you've probably seen it on social media, probably heard about it on social media. It's all over the place. It's almost definitely not true. I just think it's all misinformation and all that.
Yeah. And they also released the email with Virginia Giuffre's name, which they redacted the name for no apparent reason, because Virginia Giuffre is currently deceased, so there's no reason.
There's no point in redacting.
Yeah, and also Virginia Giuffre has said multiple times that Donald Trump he didn't rape her, he didn't do anything like that to her. So I think that's just another hoax that the Democrats are trying to use to make President Trump seem like the bad guy.
Absolutely. And again, not saying that all Democrats are bad. There just are some bad ones. There's some bad people on the Republican side, too. So there's bad people everywhere, and politics is very complicated. We're trying to briefly explain things. Now we're moving on to immigration news. Immigration raids in Charlotte, North Carolina are taking place. In the first 48 hours of said immigration raids, U.S. Border Patrol and DHS made over 130 arrests.
Yeah, and there are also Charlotte officials criticizing the raids, saying that they aren't great, they aren't like lawful and stuff, which they are lawful. If they have reason to raid an area, then they can raid it. It's kind of like how if cops have reason to pull you over and search your car, they can search your car.
Or if like they have a reason to search your house, they have a warrant and they'll come in and they'll do it.
Even if they don't have a warrant, if they have a very probable cause, like
if they literally see someone being attacked inside your house, they're gonna kick down your door and come in.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have probable cause to come in. But it's the same thing with immigration, right? If they have probable cause, they're gonna come in, they're gonna arrest some people, and if you can prove that you're a resident or citizen in the United States, they'll just let you go. And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. A lot of the news seems to be pushed out that everybody's just getting deported and getting removed from the United States and all that stuff. Really, it's just people are getting detained, and then some of them are actually proving that they're U.S. citizens or U.S. residents, and they're like, hey, we're not doing anything wrong, we're legal and all that stuff, and then they don't get removed at all. They just get sent back out into the world. It's like getting detained by the police at a riot, right? Like, if you can prove that you didn't do anything, the police are just going to let you go.
Or it's like being detained at TSA if they've mistaken you for someone else. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's happened to me a couple times. Apparently, I look like some known combative person in the United States, but they've pulled me off to the side, they've done full pat downs and everything, and then they'd be like, this is completely the wrong guy.
Alright.
In other news on immigration, there's more of an immigration crackdown.
So federal appeals court has paused the judge's order to release hundreds of immigrants from the Chicago area. Prosecutors dropped charges against Marimar Martinez and Anthony Ruiz, who were involved in an incident containing ICE or Border Patrol. So,
people are definitely questioning the fairness and handling of immigration enforcement, like how well the people who are being detained are being treated. Overall, I'd say it's not going horribly because, I mean, if you've seen people get arrested by regular cops, it's rough. It's hard to arrest someone because usually people don't want to be arrested, right? I wouldn't want to be arrested. Again, I'm not going to, like, if I were to be arrested, I've never been arrested and I never will be, hopefully. If I were to be, don't you give me, I saw that, but if I were to be arrested, I would go as peacefully as possible, but most people wouldn't, and it's understandable because you don't want to be detained.
Yeah. And the Supreme Court will review whether federal government can limit asylum processing at borders. So, and also there are immigration rights protesters. They're mobilizing in Charlotte, North Carolina against ICE and immigration agents. This has been happening for over a year, around a year.
It's been happening since the immigration raids began.
Yeah.
I would say both of us very much, we agree with the First Amendment. We love the right to protest. We think it's amazing. The only issue is that some of these people are either rioting or they're obstructing federal agents from doing their job.
Yeah, or they're obstructing roadways, or they're obstructing walkways, or obstructing pedestrian areas and stuff, which is not good. You're not supposed to be doing that. Because you can protest, like, in a park or something. You can protest along the sidewalk. And that's
I'm sure
fine.
I'm sure all you guys who are watching have seen at least, like, one protest on the sidewalk or something where, like, people are just standing there with signs and flags and stuff. And I mean, that's totally acceptable. But the people who are blocking roadways, actually, England has a huge problem with this for the Just Stop Oil protesters. They're blocking cars. They're stopping people from getting home. It's a huge issue.
Yeah. And I remember, like, one time when I was, like, really young, we were at, like, downtown, and there's a bunch of Let's Go Brandon people just staying on the sides of the street. I was like, that's fire. You know?
Yeah. In other news, polls are showing skepticism among many Americans about how well democracy and the U.S. institutions are functioning, which is kind of funny because we're not a democracy.
Yeah, so we are a constitutional republic because in democracy, it's like mob rule. You have to, every single person votes on every single thing. So,
it's exhausting.
So, I mean, not even that. It's also just kind of.
It's also impractical. It's completely impractical and takes way too much time.
Because in a democracy, if it's 51% versus 49, then the 51% wins. There's no debating that. But in a constitutional republic, it has to be a large majority. Otherwise, like we saw at the government shutdown, it has to be a large majority. Even though one side had more, it didn't work, right?
It's also just not practical to have every single person vote because I know plenty of people who just don't want to vote, and sometimes it's really hard to pick a side, so you just don't vote on something, which is completely understandable. I mean, I would vote in every election I can, but overall, it's just really it's painful to have to make every single person vote. If you don't get one vote, then you can't hold the election. It's just too it's way too time consuming.
So a republic is what we have in the United States, obviously. If you didn't know that, well, now you do.
Congratulations, you're here to learn.
Yep. So yeah, just anytime anyone says, "Oh, this is a threat to democracy," or "This is we have a democracy, not a republic," we'll just know that we are a republic because we have something called rules where the majority has to agree on a subject.
Yeah, and it has to be like a larger majority, like in the I think during the government shutdown, it had to be 60 or 40. 60 to 40, right? And that did end up happening, and that's why the government's back up, which is very good.
All right.
Finally, for news, a recent government funding bill includes a clause enabling U.S. senators to sue the federal government if their office or personal phone records are accessed or searched without prior notification, unless they are criminal targets.
Yeah, so this clause allows for civil actions resulting in up to $500,000 or more in damages per violation, plus attorney's fees.
It's a lot of money. $500,000 is a lot. I can buy a lot of trucks with that.
I could buy a ton of racing skins with that.
Buy a lot of trucks with that.
Cars.
Trucks.
Horses.
So clearly we disagree on some things, but we're here together.
So that the language was added by Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who's a Republican from South Dakota, and it was tucked into the fiscal year 2026 appropriations / legislative branch spending bill.
The provision was prompted by revelations during the Arctic Frost investigation led by Special Counsel Jack Smith in the 2020 election's subversion efforts. Phone records of several Republican senators were obtained by the FBI without prior notice.
Yeah. And the House of Representatives unanimously, 427-0.
Wow,
voted,
that almost never happens.
yeah, to appeal the provision, calling it self-serving and a cash payoff for lawmakers.
Despite the House vote, the repeal's fate in the United States Senate is uncertain. Key senators who are impacted by the investigation, such as Lindsey Graham, defend the language, while others like Rick Scott support repeal.
So yeah, so basically they want to repeal this so that people can't get money for lawsuits. And also, what will happen is if they do win the lawsuit, the money goes to the U.S. Treasury instead of going to the senators or to the politicians' bank.
Which also helps fund, public institutions like roadways, schools, that sort of thing. It's very important for that to happen, and also it prevents politicians from abusing the system and getting into a ton of lawsuits and then using a bunch of expensive lawyers to win, and then just getting a whole ton of money off of it.
Yeah.
Which is actually a problem, and it has been a problem for a while, but hopefully this will crack down on that and continue to fix that problem.
Yes. I think that's it for today. If you would like to share any other news that you think is really interesting with us, leave down in the comments.
And we'll throw up a short on it, I promise.
Oh yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content.
Always make sure that if we got something wrong, let us know down in the comments so we can put up a short or edit the video to correct it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any topics that are important to you guys, feel free to leave it down in the comments or send us an email. I'll leave the email in the description. Overall, stay patriotic, and God bless America.